Today is July 22nd, 2020. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 7 of the Mashing Joys Podcast. Thank you so much for being here with us. I am your host, Cody Myers, a.k.a. Mediocre Panda. And across from me, as always, on the interwebs, in the gaming sphere, is my cousin, co-host, and co-conspirator for world domination, Mr. Jason Kaysen. How are you, dude?
I'm good, man. We got a lot of stuff brewing for this show, and I'm really stoked. Getting a little more active on social media, getting some of the streamers that we're going to have doing interviews with us, getting their stuff out there so you guys can all check them out before we get to interview them, kind of create a relationship with them. All cool people. They all kind of have their different styles, different games. So really the big thing that we wanted to do is we wanted to obviously provide our platform to people that needed a voice. But at the same time, we want to show diversity in the gaming world. So we're not just talking to COD streamers. Okay. For instance, Linny, who we just shared recently, she was playing COD and now she's playing Valorant. GG Fire, who we shared yesterday, playing Rocket League. He also streams Pokemon games. So, I mean, this dude, he's kind of a little bit of everything. X is primarily COD, and Wink is COD, NHL. I mean, that guy plays everything too. So we're trying not to just streamline this because we know that, you know, everyone will go into some more of these games here in a little bit. But I mean, we understand that not everyone plays the same game over and over and over and over and over. Everyone has their different tastes. We want to be able to provide that platform for everyone. So I'm super stoked that we're kind of getting that off and running, and got a pretty sweet video about to hit the show pretty shortly, which is good.
It's going to be so tight. He sent me the first draft of the video while I was at work one day, and I had to like go outside because I was just so hyped about it. It looks so fucking good.
It was the very first time I've ever like put clips together and actually edited something. So definitely felt good about myself, but it's going to be even more lit once we get some more clips in there and do some edits. It'll be fire. So hopefully the plan is we'll get that posted here along with this episode. And then we'll try to work it into our cover art for our Facebook page. So you can always see it, which is going to be sweet. And then that'll be a form of our new intro. Won't be the whole intro, but it'll be a piece of it.
Yeah.
Once we get that going. So.
And we'll probably post it as like a standalone video on our YouTube channel as well.
Yep.
So if you're here with us on YouTube, that will be up pretty soon. So check it out. We'll post about it when it's up there. Make sure to give my man here, case in point, a bunch of fucking credit because it's so good.
Feels good. Feels good to be good.
Feel good, look good, play good,
pay good,
pay good, lay good, die good.
Nice.
Thanks. Pat would be so proud.
Would he? I feel like we kind of
probably not. Yeah, well, he'll be proud of me, someone who never watches, except for like the highlights, and then you watch every day.
Facts.
So
literally,
a little disappointed.
I finished watching the episode actually. Yeah, that's my bad. My B.
But we've got some things to talk about today, as per the usual. Let's get into it with big news about one of the games that we've been playing a lot lately. Jesus Christ, phone, shut up. That being Rocket League. Rocket League, if you guys are familiar with the game, formerly known as Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Power Battle Cars. Say that 5 times fast.
I'm going to get that tatted across my chest.
Dude, do it. That would be sick.
Yeah.
I just noticed. Have you seen the floppy disk antenna in the game?
Mm-hmm.
It has the initials.
Oh, does it really?
On it. I saw that like today.
That's kind of cool. That is cool.
But yeah, that game It's been out since 2015.
Yeah, it had their 5-year anniversary. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that game is officially going free to play coming this summer. So
Coming this summer.
yeah. Now this game, it's a pretty popular esports game. We'll get into that as well later. But sick dab.
I don't want to hit the spring on my microphone again.
Oh, dude, that'd be funny though.
No.
But it is being brought to us by the Epic Games Store, which has been putting out just bangers lately. Like, it's like I can't go on Instagram or Facebook for 5 minutes without seeing, oh, hey, free on the Epic Games Store, Watch Dogs 2 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, or like just a bunch of fucking huge AAA games that they're just giving out because they're like, fuck it. We make enough money on Fortnite. We can just throw these games out there.
Yeah, no shit.
But so there's some things changing with the game a little bit. It'll no longer be able to download via Steam. If you already have it on Steam, you'll still be able to play it through them. But it'll go PC exclusively through the Epic Games Store. Consoles stay the same. You just won't have to pay for it. And the veterans like us who've been around since 2015, they will get some cool things, some new wheels, player banners, titles saying like, basically saying you've been with the game since whatever year you started playing. And all of the DLC, all the Rocket League branded DLC that came out before this will be free. So that's awesome because I was just looking at all the DLCs the other day and I was like, man, I don't have like any of these. And I was thinking about buying them. Now I'm just going to wait. So, yeah. And apparently they're supposed to have a cross account compatibility, I believe. So if you play it on PlayStation, you want to go to PC, I believe you should be able to connect to your account and still have all your shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is nice. That's something I kind of want Apex to get into. Like, I hope that kind of happens with the addition of crossplay, is that they do cross accounts. That way, like, I'm not limited to just like playing on my PlayStation. I can play on my Xbox or something, or God forbid I play on my PC. Or when the Switch port comes out, that way I still have all my skins and I can just annihilate kids. Because that will happen.
Yeah.
But we're huge Rocket League fans here, especially you, as you carry my fat ass basically every game. What are your thoughts, Mr. Point?
I love it. Like, I think most of these games, the games that are esport related, should be free. And let's be honest, for you to, I wouldn't say gain an advantage, because it's really not gaining an advantage, unless like when Call of Duty introduced the snake shots, and instead of doing the challenges, you just bought the akimbo pack that already gave it to you. Like, aside from that, like, it's not necessarily giving you an advantage, but when you're playing these games and you're playing them constantly, you want new additions. You want things that are an instant upgrade. Like for us, I mean, Call of Duty was $60 and we've probably spent $20 to $30, if not more, on vehicle skins, game skin, or gun skins, player skins. I mean, it's what you do. So if I was a game like Call of Duty, or if I was a game like Apex or Rocket League or any of those games, I'd make my game free because I know that I'm going to have more people playing my game, which means I'm going to have more people buying my online merch constantly. I'll be totally honest with you. If Rocket League wasn't free, I would have never started playing it in 2015. The only reason I started playing it was because my buddy Mike was like, hey, bro, have you played this game Rocket League yet? I was like, no, I've seen it. I'm not really into, driving car. Because on it, like when I first started watching, it was like all the ball cam stuff. And I've never been good at games that are like that. So I was like, yeah, it just doesn't look like it's for me. I don't want to pay for that. He's like, bro, it's free for this month and this month only. Just download it. We'll play it together, see if you like it. And I immediately fell in love. So for a guy like me that looks at the game, it's like, that could change their outlook. If it was $29.99, I wouldn't have bought it. If it was $9.99, I wouldn't have bought it because it just didn't look like it was for me. I wasn't going to spend the money for it. Now, after it got its hype and then they dropped it down to $9.99, I probably would have bought it. But if it was still $30, I still wouldn't have bought it. I don't care about the hype. I mean, Overwatch was discounted to what when you got it?
I think $18.
I still didn't buy it. Doesn't look like a game for me, and it has a ton of hype. Didn't get it. Now, if it was free, I'd download it in a heartbeat. There's games on my console right now that I have never played, but I downloaded them because they're free, and eventually, if I get a wild hair up my butt, I'll try it. Anthem is one. I've had that thing since it's been free like 4 months ago. I haven't even touched it. But if you're getting those downloads and you're getting more people into the game because they don't have to pay to get in, you can make so much more on the back end by releasing cool additions. The fact that they're going to give you like all the previous DLC just shows me that this future DLC is going to be fire. Like they've probably brought in some people that are just like ready to rip as soon as they're allowed to. And once this thing goes free, I wouldn't be surprised if they make more on their DLC purchases than they would have re-releasing like a version of the game or something. Like it's going to be that hyped.
Yeah.
Smart move. I love it.
Yeah. Plus with, I know you and I are daily shoppers of the item shop.
Yep.
And they've got some dope shit in there, as well as people who buy the premium battle pass and stuff, since everyone and their fucking dog are doing a battle pass.
Yep.
Which, I mean,
who started the battle pass? Was it Fortnite? Like who started that idea?
I think it was Fortnite or PUBG. I can't remember. It was one of the early BRs. Yeah, they pioneered an entire generation of games, not even just a genre. Because you see, Rocket League's got a battle pass, and I mean, obviously Apex and Warzone have battle passes, and just games that just you don't really see the point until you see how it's executed. Like I know when I first saw Rocket League's battle pass, I was like, "Fucking really, guys? Way to hop on the bandwagon!" And now I'm here, like, okay, what challenges do I need to do to finish this?
Yep. Well, Rocket League, when they first did it, I thought that they were ballsy because when they first did it, they didn't do a premium. It was just a battle pass. So if you had the game, it was just a battle pass. So when you got certain challenges done, you would unlock it. It would just make it harder to unlock it because they would get to like where if you were playing the same difficulty and like against the computer or whatever, your XP would go down like exponentially. So you couldn't just rage against the computer to complete the battle pass. Like you had to play online and you had to level up online to increase your spot. But then like right after that, they did premium.
Are you saying that they were making it so people couldn't rage against the machine?
Oh, dang. Actually, that's actually a really good transition into our new segment.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's great, because I'd love to know about it since you were like, I'm not fucking telling you. And I'm like, cool, man. You're like, it's a surprise. Cool. I somewhat like surprises. Let's see how this goes.
All right. So we're gonna break this down. For all of you tuning in, you are a lucky person because you are just like my co-host here, learning about this for the very first time, and you're actually hearing it out loud for the very first time because all of this has either been written on paper or in my brain. I have never said it out loud. So if it sounds terrible, I'm sorry. We have a new segment. If you tune into Case in Point, you know that I'm all about segments. I love segments. We got Make My Case. We have PMS. And now on Mashing Joys, we have a little segment I like to call Rage Quit.
Ooh, this is fun. This is right down my alley.
So what Rage Quit is we will take a topic where there's one side and another side, and we will compare the two, and we will decide if we are going to rage quit or continue to play. So in this case, we posted a little thing up on our page. It's an ultimate tournament of the esports games. So they ranked all the esports games, all the games that you'll see competitively on your web channels, and they have people voting on who they think is better, and then they'll get to the final two, and they'll vote. Well, we're going to do a little speed round where we're going to get to the final two of the ones that are already here, which I believe what we updated isn't the final one. I believe Rocket League moved on, Fortnite moved on, and Rainbow Six Siege moved on.
Okay.
So we have Apex versus Overwatch, Call of Duty versus Super Smash, Rocket League versus Fortnite, League of Legends versus Rainbow Six. So we'll start at League of Legends, Rainbow Six. So rage quit or play for League of Legends.
I've looked into it. Not for me. No, I just rage quit League.
Okay. So Rainbow Six moves on. But you're a big Rainbow Six guy.
Yeah, I bought Siege when it first came out because I was a big fan of the original Rainbow Six series. Like I had the original on PC, and as much as there are things I hate about that game, like it is in the top 2 most toxic games I've ever fucking played in my entire life. But it's just so fun and strategic. I'm a big Rainbow Six guy.
Nice. Okay. Apex Overwatch. Rage quit or continue to play Apex? I already wrote it, but
I mean, I gotta continue to play Apex.
There you go.
That's my thing,
Apex
man.
it is. Okay. Call of Duty Super Smash. Rage quit or continue to play Super Smash?
Rage quit.
Rage quit Super Smash. That's a classic.
I'll say this right now.
Is it because you're not good at it, or is it because you don't like playing it competitively?
There are 3 reasons. You name 2 of them. And third, they haven't put my fucking boy Waluigi in the game, so I am fucking boycotting Super Smash.
Waluigi's a bitch. Waluigi is the Ethan Hawke of Mario characters.
Okay, dude. Fucking all right. Meet me on the playground after school.
I'll meet you in Super Smash.
Buy me a copy. I'll play it.
Use my girl Samus. All right. Rocket League, Fortnite. Rage quit, continue to play Rocket League.
Continue to play. It's just way more fun to watch than Fortnite. Fortnite's fucking dumb. Facts. Like I've been watching, shout out to fucking Squishy Muffin on Twitch. Been watching his stream the last like 3
Squishy
days.
Muffin on this show.
Dude, that would be so tight. But yeah, first off, way more fun to watch like the good players play. Like him, GG Fire, all those fucking guys. But Fortnite, everyone just fucking plays the same, and it's just not fun and fast-paced in most parts. And Fortnite's just fucking stupid. So Rocket League for sure.
Yeah. And like, I'm the same way. I don't enjoy watching Fortnite. Like, actually, I enjoy watching Good Game Bro. I didn't like watching him when he did Fortnite. Like, that was boring for me. Now that he plays COD and 2K and stuff, like, it's more fun to watch. The one guy that I do like to watch, he's actually a small streamer, Michael Davis, also known as Mike Valley. He's part of the Davis Bros Twitch channel. He streams Fortnite. He was kind of feasting when he ran it solo for a little bit. Apparently, I was talking to Jonathan, his older brother, who's been on Case in Point a couple times. He said that Mike and his squad are like goats. So when they're on together, you need to tune in, which I definitely will. But I 100% agree. I bet you there's 500 streamers from top of the line, top tier to bottom tier that are more enjoyable to watch play Rocket League than the top tier guys are to play Fortnite.
Yeah. I know there's a streamer I watch all the time, Mr. Courage JD, who used to be a big Fortnite guy. He was kind of in the group, the main team with like Ninja, Tim the Tap Man, Dr. Lupo, all those guys, the OGs. And I just couldn't do it. But now he's one of like my top, probably my second favorite streamer to watch, period, because of all the Warzone content he puts out. Like, it's just way more fun to watch him play Warzone than Fortnite.
Did you see the video where Tim the Tap Man like tunes into Dr. Disrespect's thing where Dr. Disrespect was playing Fortnite? It was like late 2019. And he's showing his how whatever it's called when you're watching someone else's stream on your stream, like when you're hosting it or whatever. And he's like, we're just gonna watch him and I'm just gonna critique it. And like Dr. Disrespect drops and starts playing, and Tim the Tap Man just like, oh my god, what are you doing? Just like totally critiquing him. It was freaking hilarious. Because at the time, like I heard of Tim the Tap Man through you because I know you talked about him.
Yeah.
And I knew of Dr. Disrespect just from all the crazy rage videos that I've watched with him. And to see him critiquing another big time streamer was freaking hilarious.
Yeah. Plus, Doc is very anti-Fortnite. He just absolutely fucking hates the game.
I'm pretty sure I've watched multiple streams where he has uninstalled the game mid-stream.
I would not be surprised. It's Doc.
It's getting uninstalled. All right.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six, Apex, Rage Quit, continue to play Rainbow Six.
Continue to play Rainbow Six.
Whoa! Wow! What?
Here's my reasoning. Apex Legends, as we know from my top 10 list, one of my favorite games that has come out recently. I couldn't stop playing it. It's still one of my favorites. We were just playing with Kyle the other night, and that was fucking fun as hell, even though we were absolute dog shit at it. But the thing is, with Apex, it's not exactly built right now the way it is in the game. Not exactly built for competitive play very well. As to Rainbow Six, where there can be some variation with people's gun builds and operators and different maps and strategies going into those maps, and you can see some crazy shit in Rainbow Six that you just won't see in Apex Legends. I do love the game, and I am going to continue to play it, especially when we get this new map, Season 6. But, yeah, no, for strictly from an esports perspective, I have to go Rainbow Six.
Dang. Okay. I respect it. COD, Rocket League, Rage Quit, continue to play COD.
Rage Quit COD.
All right.
If it was something other than MP, like if there was a way, like kind of how Fortnite does their competitive Fortnite, like the Cash Cup and all that stuff in World Cup, if they had a way to do that with like Warzone, fucking A, I would watch that till I died in real life. But just MP doesn't do it for me, especially like, domination and search and destroy and stuff. It's not really it for me. Rocket League's so fast paced, and it's like watching fucking sports. It's like watching the World Cup. It's so much fun.
I would agree. I think out of all of the games, aside from like Mortal Kombat and FIFA, all of the games on this list, Rocket League is the most sportsy esports game. Obviously, FIFA is a sports game, so
yes.
FIFA would be number one, but like the best to watch, I'd rather watch Rocket League over watching FIFA.
Oh, yeah.
But okay, final two: Rainbow Six Siege, Rocket League, Rage Quit, continue to play, Rocket League.
That's a really tough question because I love Rocket League, how fast-paced it is. I love the sports aspect of it. I love the crazy fucking goals people get.
And saves.
Oh, yeah.
Not just goals.
Oh, yeah. Both sides of the ball are just so much fun to watch.
And like how they toggle cameras while you're watching it. Like you'll see the dude that's actually flying the ball in, and then it like zooms out, and then you just see a dude like save it out of nowhere, and then they show his camera.
On the other side of things, Rainbow Six is a lot slower, a lot more methodical. One bad move can make or break an entire game. It's way more stressful. I might kick myself for saying this, but Rage Quit Rocket League.
Whoa, Rainbow Six coming from the depths of hell for the win.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
There's so much more variation. Like, you can do different car builds, but overall the gameplay stays the exact same with Rocket League. And the variation in play styles and operator builds and their abilities and stuff, just there's more options. And the Rainbow Six team is constantly adding new shit. So, yeah.
Heck yeah.
I would take Rainbow Six.
What'd you think? That was fun?
Oh, that was good.
Cool. You want to do round two?
Let's do it. Why not?
All right. Round two. So this is also a thing that we shared on our page. This was posted by ESPN. Which video game franchise would you revive? We have MVP Baseball 2005, NBA Ballers, SSX3, but it's not really SSX3. It's SSX as the franchise. They just used the worst game of the SSXs to put on the cover. Fight Night, NCAA Football, NFL Street, NBA Street, ESPN, NFL 2K, and MLB Slugfest. Obviously, NCAA Football is the answer here. If you disagree, play sports games because NCAA Football is by far the greatest sports game ever made.
It's the reason I still have my PS3.
Yeah, I don't know what it still sells for, but I remember back like 3 years ago, NCAA Football 14 was still selling for $50 used because people loved it so much. People were buying consoles for it. I remember not last 2 Black Fridays or 3 Black Fridays ago when like retro games were back in action, like everyone was going back and buying old consoles and GameStop was buying back consoles. They did an NCAA Football bundle for like a PS3 and it was like $300. It was like the same price of a PS4. And it was strictly because you were getting an NCAA football game. So NCAA football is clearly the answer here.
Yeah.
But
which, by the way, it is still going for that price, just so you know.
Heck yeah.
It's still like $50 for the game used.
I might have to sell mine.
I have mine digitally, so I'll never lose it.
I'm actually bummed that I sold 13. I sold 13 to get 14, and now I kind of wish I had 13.
14's better.
Oh, by far, but just have the variation. Anyways, NCAA football is clearly the winner, so there was 9 games. We're taking one out because it's the winner. Mm-hmm. We're going to do the exact same thing, just with these games on what we would revive. So we'll kind of keep them in the same realm of sports. So first off, we have NFL Street versus ESPN NFL 2K. Rage quit or continue to play NFL Street?
Continue to play. NFL Street's one of my favorite games. I actually bought a copy from a shop out here of the original Xbox copy of NFL Street because I was like, oh, it says on the list it's backwards compatible with the 360.
Nice.
It wasn't. I think I still have it on my shelf though because it's just fucking incredible. I love that game.
It was good. It is very good. I would agree with you. NFL Street by far is good. So I know everyone. I feel like ESPN NFL 2K gets its hype because so many people don't like Madden. I was never a Madden player, believe it or not, even though that's like my game now. But back in the day, I played Game Day. Like I didn't even play Madden. I was big into 989 sports. Game Day was my ish. Now, Madden has obviously made some crazy improvements because it was very it's hard to explain, but it was very like I always saw it as like sticky. Like everything was like based off of sticks. Like which direction you were gonna go was very like hard angles, where like Game Day was more like fluid. So like you could run like legit routes, whereas Madden was like either you're going straight up or you're going straight in or you're going straight at an angle. And that was like all your plays were like very straight angled, whereas Game Day wasn't. Plus Game Day, if you played on like a super hard mode and you played against an actual person, the computer tried to overcorrect for the person you were playing, which was awesome because whenever I would play people that I knew I was better at and do kick returns, I would run one direction, and then since it took them so long to like catch up, the team overcorrected. So then I'd just go back the other way and return kicks all day. Like I would score like 48 points just in return kickoffs. But the thing I do like about ESPN NFL 2K was the visor vision. Like you were able to do visor vision so you could like actually be the player, and like that's back in like PS2 graphics. Imagine that now. Like if they brought that game back for PS5 on VR.
Oh,
bro.
Filthy.
ESPN, you're not listening, but if you are, you should be, because I just gave you $1 billion idea. But yes, NFL Street, like the arcade style, it was a perfect mesh of Madden and Blitz. And it just met right in the middle. It wasn't like over the top violence, and it wasn't like over the top strategy. Like you could still get away with some crazy stuff. And then when they added the whole like spin the ball, like when you try to hurdle someone and like spin the ball on his finger, like so cool, so cool. Totally agree. All right.
Also, ESPN, if you're listening, free Woj.
Free Woj, yes, that guy's a god.
Yeah, what a hero.
I thought there was freedom of speech. Whatever. We won't get into that. Basketball. NBA Ballers. NBA Street. Rage quit. Continue to play NBA Street.
If it was strictly Volume 2, I'd have to say NBA Street. But I'm going to rage quit NBA Street.
I would agree with you. I actually, even if it was just Volume 2, I would still agree with you.
Wow.
NBA Ballers just as a franchise, even look, hang on.
Here he goes, pulling out his fucking copy of NBA Ballers.
Look, okay.
Oh, chosen one. Nice.
This one sucked, but it still had the 1v1v1, which is like the greatest basketball game mode of all time. And I'm talking NBA Jam is in that realm too. 1v1v1 was awesome because when you would play, even the computer, you could team up with the computer against the other computer. Like the one that I remember was you had to play Mavericks Dirk and Phoenix Suns Steve Nash. And it was so hard because anytime you guarded Steve Nash, he'd blow by you, and then Dirk would just post you up. So I would always try to let Dirk score first, so he kept getting the ball back. And then I would let him back down Steve Nash, and then I'd just pickpocket him. And then Steve Nash, I'd let him like literally just drive to the hole so Dirk doesn't kind of get juked. And then he'd go up for a layup, and Dirk would block him, and then I'd just grab it, and then I'd score. Like there were so many ways that you can win. And then when you play with other people, same thing. Like if you were playing with someone that like whatever character they were using, they just couldn't miss, you just double team them and you just don't let him score. And then it becomes one-on-one and you try to knock one person out over the other. Like it was awesome, like awesome game mode, super creative. Love that kind of stuff. I would agree. NBA Ballers.
I remember when you first got the original NBA Ballers on the PS2, and I was like, this game's fucking sick. Like, it's arcadey, but it doesn't look arcadey.
And they implemented like that MTV Cribs vibe.
Yeah, dude.
So you like go to like people's yachts and like
Yeah,
so
like
cool.
Shaq's crib and shit.
Yeah, and you had to like unlock like KG's yacht, and it was just like, oh my god, it was so cool. Such a good game.
Do you think KG buys the Wolves?
I actually shared that on my Case in Point page. I don't know, man. Like, we talked about it a little bit when you were on my episode, my last episode of Case in Point with Bezos. Like, Bezos has wanted a team forever, and to bring the roots back to Seattle, I wouldn't be surprised if he puts together a plan. I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks family tries to buy it and bring the Sonics back. I mean, look, Seattle's got a ton of money. I wouldn't be surprised if they put together like a team to buy it. KG makes sense. If I were the Timberwolves, I would rather sell it to KG because I feel like the sale would go a lot smoother with my fan base than selling it to buyers that are clearly going to take it out of town.
Yeah.
If I was KG, I'd try to put more money into it because I know that my players would want to stay. Like, no player wants to try to build their brand in Minnesota and then get uprooted to Seattle, even though it might be an upgrade in market. You've already built roots in Minnesota. Like, it's hard to uproot and go somewhere else and try to rebrand yourself. It's not easy. So KG probably knows he has that in his back pocket, and that's honestly probably why he's so invested, because he knows that, first of all, aside from, I mean, I can't even count Michael. Like, there's really no player that's ever owned a basketball team that's good. Like, every time they own it, they try to implement something that just doesn't make sense. Like, it's out of date. I think KG's played in so many eras that it makes sense. Honestly, I don't care who, because I think it'd be dope to have the Sonics back. And I mean, it's the Timberwolves, but the Timberwolves logo is kind of cool though.
Yeah, and I love their uniforms.
And the mascot, like the Timberwolf. Like, if they would do the Seattle Timberwolves, I'd be okay with it. Like, you get the and bring the Sonics colors. Like, I'd be okay with that. It wouldn't happen because if a team goes back to Seattle, they will be the Sonics.
There will be so much backlash if they're not the Sonics.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm leaning towards KG taking the squad, and then I'm leaning towards the NBA expanding, and adding a Vegas team and a Seattle team. And then you can move like Memphis to the east and then just add 2 West teams.
Yeah. Or let's just put Memphis back in Vancouver. Bring back the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Yeah, see, that one too. Like, I agree with that. But at the same time, you could also just bring those colors back to Memphis.
Yeah, that's true. I think don't they have like a throwback uniforms that are like kind of pseudo Vancouver?
Yeah, it's not like, it doesn't have the teal and the red. It's just like the teal and the black. But yeah, it's very similar. But Vancouver Grizzlies would be dope. I mean, what we need is like Mike Bibby, someone like that pulls an MJ.
Oh, yeah, dude.
That like buys the Grizzlies and they're like, nope, sorry, we're going to Vancouver. MJ did it in a more classy fashion because he bought the Bobcats and then basically told the New Orleans Pelicans to rebrand themselves. That was a G move. But that's what we
fucking
need.
Michael, dude. He just does that
shit. Can you imagine? I know this is off topic, but can you imagine running a team, putting billions of dollars into this team, and Michael Jordan calls and was like, "Oh, hey, by the way, if you don't change your name, I'm calling the NBA and we're going to start a lawsuit." Like, what do you do at that point? Okay, I'll see you in court. No, you're like,
not with Michael Jordan.
Hey, Stacy, can you clear my calendar because I'm on the phone with Michael? Yeah, Mike. What do you think we should name the team? Yeah, you can have the Hornets. Absolutely. Should we be the Bobcats? Like, would you like us to take the Bobcats? Oh no, you're gonna let our fans vote? Okay, yeah. We'll pick a shitty team like the Pelicans. But like, can you imagine getting that call? Like, I'd be like, Stacy like calls out on the wire named Stacy, but Jason,
because her mom's got it going on.
Michael Jordan's on the phone. Be like, huh? Yeah, Michael Jordan's on the phone. Season hasn't even started yet. Yeah, he didn't really say what it was for. Well, it's definitely not for a trade because the season hasn't started. Hey, maybe he wants to do like a cross-team scrimmage or something. Yeah, let's answer. Hey, Mike, what's going on? Hey, bro, just wanted to let you know that we're going to become the Charlotte. We're not going to be the Bobcats anymore. We're going to be the Charlotte Hornets. So you guys are going to have to change your team name. If not, I'm going to get my lawyers involved, and you're probably going to lose this because I'm Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like,
Yep. All right.
hell no, bro.
You got it, boss.
I don't want to take that phone call at all.
Yeah.
Like, that was a boss move. But that's what we need. We need like Mike Bibby or someone from the Vancouver Grizzlies take over the Grizzlies, move them back to Vancouver, or just rebrand them and bring back not even just the colors, the Grizzlies logo. Like when they went to the
that
face,
was so good.
Stupid. The Grizzly with the ball, like, oh my God.
Dude, that was
Can
like
we just
the pinnacle of
right
NBA
now,
logos.
Late 80s, early 90s, greatest logos of all time.
Yeah,
when it comes to
except for the
basketball.
Rockets.
Dude, I love the Rockets.
The Planet basketball with the cartoony rocket.
Okay, that one's not as cool.
That one's shit.
The R with the rocket going around it, that one's cool. With
that
the
one's
blasters
fine.
on the bottom.
Yeah, that one's
cool.
great.
But those uniforms, the pinstripes were freaking dope. The Raptors.
Dude, got my Raptors hat right here.
Dude, the Raptors was sick. Yeah, Raptors, Grizzlies, even the Hornets. Even the Hornets with the stinger going into the ball.
Yeah, dude.
That one was cool. I mean, the Knicks logo has always sucked.
Yeah.
Nets logo has always sucked.
Yeah.
Lakers logos, I mean, it's OG, but it's boring. Celtics, OG, but boring. Yeah. I mean, those would probably be the best by far. I think the Mavericks actually, I'd have to fact check this, but I think the Mavericks started that. Started the shield looking logos when they brought like the shield with the horse on the one side and the basketball on the other side. Like once they did that, then you saw the Grizzlies change. Then you saw all these other teams go to like a crest logo. And it was just like, why? Like your character, like the raptor with the claw through the, oh my God, that was so cool. Like so good, dude. So good.
So amazing. If I could get my hands on like a dope Vancouver Grizzlies snapback, heartbeat, dude.
Yeah,
just done. Pay
good.
with Apple Pay. Let's get it going.
Yep. Like even like the Timberwolves, like the old Timberwolves wolf was cool. I mean, back then, those logos were just so good. So good.
We got off on a huge tangent here. Hey, guys, if you like major tangent, if you guys like sports talk, go check out my co-host here on his podcast, Case in Point, the fucking podcast that started it all, that started this whole network that we're doing here. It's this genius right here that started all that. So if you guys like the sports things, go to this guy. He knows what he's talking about.
Back to sports games.
Yeah.
So we have NFL Street moving on, NBA Ballers moving on, Slugfest versus MVP Baseball. Rage quit or continue to play Slugfest?
I'm going to continue to play Slugfest.
I agree. 100%.
I want to reenact the Odor Batista fight every single inning.
That's awesome. Not gonna lie, always played the Yankees just so I could steal and punch Derek Jeter right in the mouth. Screw the captain. Okay, Slugfest moves on. SSX versus Fight Night. Mind you, we're talking SSX franchise, not SSX reboot or SSX 3.
Yeah. What am I choosing on here?
Rage quit or continue to play Fight Night.
If we were talking specifically just SSX tricky, I would have to go with it, but I'm going to continue to play Fight Night.
Shout out to
even though UFC beats its ass in every way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Shout out to Davis Bros. Jonathan has actually been streaming Fight Night Champion.
Oh, nice.
And he started a fighter called Big Salad. And
fuck yeah.
It's
that's
awesome.
Badass, dude.
It's actually kind of awesome. Okay, so Fight Night, Slugfest. both fighting games. One also has baseball implemented. Rage quit or continue to play Fight Night.
Rage quit Fight Night. I'm not good at it. It's fun to play. I'm not good at it.
Nice. Okay.
I just want to knock people out with Tyson, bro.
Facts, dude. And Fight Night, and I love how they used Fight Night round 3 because that was when they brought Oscar De La Hoya in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, so much fun. So much fun. Okay. NBA Ballers, NFL Street, Rage Quit, continue to play Ballers.
Can't go against the game breaker, bro. I'm going to Rage Quit Ballers.
Oh. Okay.
Game breaker.
All right. NFL Street moves on. Okay.
Where do you stand on that?
Oof. I was hyping up Ballers too much. I can't go away from Ballers. That 1v1v1 is like literally the coolest game mode. And like when it comes to arcadey games, like Midway will always beat EA Sports Big.
Yeah.
Even though EA Sports Big was like a dope move by EA Sports.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I think I'd stick with Ballers just because the storyline, like NFL Street storyline, was cool because you unlocked players, and then after that, it was literally just you playing your squad against your friends or you playing against the computer constantly. Like NBA Ballers storyline was so deep, and then you could play so many different game modes within that.
Yeah.
I think NBA Ballers was just more in depth, so I'd choose Ballers there. NFL Street, Slugfest, Rage Quit, continue to play NFL Street.
I'd continue to play NFL Street.
Oh, bye-bye Slugfest.
Yeah. As fun as Slugfest was, if I want to play a fighting game, I'm going to play UFC. If I want to play baseball, I'm going to play the show.
Fair enough.
If I want to play both, I'm just going to go find a softball game going on and start beating people up.
Nice. I would agree with you, but I couldn't because I picked Ballers instead of Street, and Ballers would win it for me. Like, looking at this list, if I had to do a top 3, my top 3 would be NCAA football, NBA Ballers, NBA Street. Like, that's how my 3 would go. And then Slugfest is right there. And then NFL Street, I think MVP baseball is dead last for me.
Mm-hmm.
I actually liked when I liked triple play baseball more than I liked MVP baseball. And then I actually stopped playing baseball games because triple play stopped making a game. And then I started playing Slugfest. And then I didn't play after Slugfest went away. And then I picked up the show. Actually, that's a lie. I played 2K baseball for a little bit because they were doing that pay $1 million if you pitched a perfect game. And I was doing that for a couple of years and I almost got it. And then ESPN NFL 2K would be second to last.
So let's do this if you don't mind.
Yeah.
As I'm writing mine down just so I don't fuck it up. What are your 9 in order?
9 in order?
Yeah.
NCAA football, 1. Ballers, 2. NBA Street. Slugfest. NFL Street. SSX. Fight Night. And then ESPN 2K MVP baseball.
Cool. I've got mine, obviously, NCAA football, NFL Street, Ballers, Slugfest, NBA Street, SSX Fight Night, ESPN MVP.
Yeah. So we only had a couple that were different.
Yeah. Granted, I didn't play a whole lot of ballers. I know I went back and played them like way after the fact, and I played through them all like in a row. But they're good games.
There's a good stretch like that year where PS2 was putting out just straight fire basketball games.
Yeah.
They had NBA Ballers, NBA Street Volume 2. They had the And One mixtape game. Like, it was just constant basketball games that were just so good. And then you still had NBA Live or 2K, depending on who you wanted to play. I was always an NBA Live guy because I just
college hoops too.
You had college hoops
back when they were still doing that.
Yeah, you had you had EA Sports March Madness, and then you had college hoops 2K. And then you also had, on top of all of that, you also had NBA The Inside, which was like its own game, but that was more like arcadey gameplay because it had like the actual shot dial.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what years that would be because I was too young to like know the exact year. But there was like a good 2-year stretch where like NBA Live was the greatest. I don't know why I'm still holding this game. NBA Live was like one of the greatest sports games out. And then you had all of these like subcategory basketball games that were off of it that I just like. There was probably a 2-year stretch where all I played was the year's installment of NCAA football, and then all of these arcadey basketball games in NBA Live. Like, that was it. That's like all I played. And then they came out with NFL Street, and I was like, oh, this could be cool. And it was. But that's like it, because those games were just so good. Like the And One, you can create your own. Oh, my God, And One was so good. All those games were good. They were all really good. But and of this 9, NCAA football is the GOAT by a landslide.
I'm kind of excited to see how they do it in Madden 21 because they did say that you can do like you can pick from 10 colleges and you can play like 2 seasons.
You can do it in Madden 20.
Yeah. Well, that was just like the fucking college football playoff, right?
You play like high school, college games, and then you play the playoff and you play the championship. This is going to be like more like seasons, but it's still going to be within their story mode.
Yeah.
Which is meh. But yeah, it's cool because my Ducks are in it. So, which is cool because I'm always Oregon, which is awesome.
Yeah. Obviously.
Yep. And they cherry pick the team. So it's like you play Alabama first, which I love beating them. And then it's always like Clemson versus USC, which never happened. And Clemson always wins. And then you get to beat Clemson. So you get to beat the 2 powerhouses every time you play, no matter who you pick. So it's kind of cool. But anyways, yeah, that's our first installment of Rage Quit. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little long. We'll keep it a little shorter when we actually do these segments. The point of segments is to kind of keep it short and sweet, get to the point, but be a little different and entertaining. Speaking of different, the season 5 rumor for COD Warzone is going to be insane if it's true. If it's true. Yeah. Obviously, rumors of a lot of the things have kind of already been proven. Actually, if you follow, which I it's not that I don't recommend, I just don't like all of his content, but if you follow Nitro Luke, he's actually like really plugged into the Call of Duty universe. And he actually has like game footage. He showed like game footage of like someone flying a helicopter and you're like looking out of the front windshield of the train. So like, it's not that trains have been like 100% confirmed, but they're highly rumored, which is usually a positive when it comes to this kind of stuff. And then Stadium being opened, there's been so many videos of people glitching into Stadium, which is generally a coding issue because Call of Duty's testing different codes of opening Stadium. So that one makes sense. The guns are probably the ones that'll definitely change. They're showing, I believe, the AN-94 is a shotgun.
Not sure.
And then obviously the intervention being a sniper or marksman on steroids.
They'd have to put it in as a sniper.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where they'd put it in the sniper category. Like, is that going to be like the middle ground between an HDR and a 50 cal, which through the patches are like there's very little difference between the two. But the new maps are kind of interesting. The new ground war map, since ground war is just the individual segments of Warzone. Hey, train station. Woo. Anyway, speaking of train station, new gunfight map, carriage. Woo.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Which I'm assuming is going to be like all the parked trains.
Yeah, I would assume so. But who gives a fuck about that? Because the multiplayer map he has listed on here is fucking Terminal. Oh my
Greatest
god.
Call of Duty map of all time.
Yep. Fuck Nuketown. They've ran that shit.
They ruined it.
Yeah, they put its dick in the dirt. But now, if one mediocre panda could make a suggestion for another map to bring back, can I get High Rise back, please?
Yeah.
Dude, High Rise is so much fun.
High Rise was like the first map where you found secret spots that were like lethal. Like some maps you'll find like secret spots and you're like, oh, I'm just going to camp here till it's me and another guy and then I'll surprise them. High Rise was like, you can find so many spots. There was like the little scaffolding off the side. Like if you fell off the building, you could be in the scaffolding. Then you could like go all the way up and you can walk along like the edge of that building. Like, oh my God, dude, High Rise.
Get up on the crane.
Good. So good. High Rise was so good. You had to keep your
so
head
much
on a swivel.
Yeah, so much trick shot capability on High Rise.
Facts. I think if they do plan on bringing High Rise back, I would like High Rise to be its own. I would like it to be season 6. High Rise be season 6 because Terminal deserves its own season. Like honestly, I'm actually kind of on Terminal. Like a part of Terminal isn't the gunfight map. Like if they did like the plane part of it, or even like the upstairs shopping center part of Terminal, and like you started in the tarmac, like one team started on the tarmac and the other team started like in the back of the shopping mall thing, and then you like met in the middle. Like that would be cool. But obviously they're forming around train station because they're bringing trains into Warzone, which is
allegedly.
This
is all allegedly,
which would be kind of cool. I'm not sure how that would. I don't know if it's going to be like Apex, where it just like constantly is going, and you can get in it, or if it's going to be something where like you find it and you have to start it and go, and it's like an Easter egg part of it. Like I don't know if that like if you have to find the key to get it and you get a bunch of loot and then you can travel wherever you want to go. I don't know. Like
I feel like
can it be destructible? Like every vehicle in that game is destructible. What about trains? Because in Apex you can't destroy the train.
I feel like if they're gonna put it in the game, it's gonna be very on par with Apex. Probably some scattered loot, maybe a couple supply crates here and there. Maybe like a legendary every so often. But I don't know. Where
are you going to land now? Because stadium opening is like everyone's going to go there, but also there's a train moving.
Yeah. Who knows what else they'll do to the map. They need to just fucking nuke military base.
They need to flood military base.
Like
the dam breaks needs to break and just floods military base.
That'd be tight. And then, like you were talking about, I think it was last episode, the fucking like Russian sub would be sick.
That'd be cool. Like actually, like the Russian sub comes out, like it's the one that breaks the dam. Floods military base, and the Russian sub like parts at sea right at military base, so that becomes out of bounds, and like the Russian ship like cuts off all of military base.
And we lose Bunker 11, but who really gives a shit? Because I feel like they took out like anything that's worth it for the Easter eggs. Like the key cards are gone. We have not found a key card in like a month. So,
and we play that game a lot
every day, whether we like it or not.
Facts, major facts. I feel like major facts is just gonna have to be a T-shirt since he keeps popping in.
Yeah, dude. So they're kind of like Captain Obvious, but for us, it's major facts.
Major facts. Dude, we should. I got an idea in my brain. A T-shirt with a major facts that looks somewhat like Major Pain beating up
Captain Obvious
Captain Obvious
from Hotels.com.
100%.
Dude,
The cartoon
yeah.
version of that. And we reach out to Hotels.com.
Yeah.
Bam.
Bam. Partnership.
And then just
Mashing Joys, soon to be brought to you by Hotels.com.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
That'd be so
yeah. So anyways, obviously this is rumored and alleged. However, Nitro, wherever he gets his information, obviously it's probably from someone else. This mock-up was made by legit mate gamers.
Yeah.
A lot of his stuff, like even like last season, and the season before that, he was, pretty on par with what was coming out. Price coming out. He was actually the first one that was like, nothing's going to happen to the map, because everyone was like, oh, this Easter egg, something's going to happen to the map. And Nitro from day one was like, they're not going to do anything to the map yet. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to open Stadium, but that's not coming right now. The one thing he was wrong about is he thought when they did the new COD release, they would do it before Season 4, and they would introduce the changes that were going to be made, which obviously we haven't had that true release yet. Maybe they do that for Season 5. I don't know, but
I know
pretty cool things on here.
One of the things that I've read in regards to the COD 2020 reveal is that a reveal will happen in Warzone, and it's going to be so minuscule, it'll seem like it's unofficial. Like, it's going to seem like you wouldn't expect that to be the reveal, but that's what I've heard from just sources on Twitter.
Maybe it's the trains, and then in the train is like something from
like posters or some shit.
Yeah,
that'd be tight. Or like when Stadium opens, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
something
we'll
like
get like something.
Like it's a post-apocalyptic shutdown of the stadium, like a global pandemic, and they don't play sports anymore. But the flyer that's in it is like whatever the back then was like, on this date this happened, and it's like, oh, that's it.
Wow, a global pandemic keeping stadiums empty. A little on the nose there, Jason.
That's just what I do.
Yeah. But let's wrap this up with our final segment here. We speak of a lot of rumors and allegedlys, but something that's not alleged is the Hollywood's knack for putting out really shitty video game movies, which if you've listened to our episode 6, we did talk a little bit about a couple upcoming video game movies being in Just Cause and Uncharted. But then we started talking to some people, and they're like, you know what? You guys like top 10s. What if you guys did a top 10 of the worst video game movies? So guess what, fuckers? Get ready to relive some of your worst memories, because we're going to do a top 10 list of the worst video game movies ever, in our opinions. Obviously, our lists will vary. We do not know each other's lists, as usual. And then we said we were going to do honorable mentions and dishonorable mentions, but it's weird and kind of confusing because our honorable mentions are the shitty movies that didn't make the list, and our dishonorable mentions are the good movies.
When I wrote my list and I wrote honorable and dishonorable, I started writing them. I was like, oh, wait, no. It's supposed to be opposite. So above dishonorable, I had to write good above it in parentheses, so I knew what it was.
My God.
And as you alluded to, just like always, we do not share our lists to each other, so the reactions you get are 100% real, raw, and accurate. Because we don't want to flub this stuff. That's not what we're about. We're about giving the people what they want. And we like top 10s. You like top 10s. We give top 10s. You enjoy top 10s. You get the cycle. So, without further ado, would you like to start off with your good/dishonorable mentions?
Yeah, sure. Do we want to just like run through these?
Yeah, let's just do the dishonorables and honorables. Let's just list our top 3, because who gives a shit?
Okay. Sonic. Duh. I really liked Detective Pikachu. Good movie. Ryan Reynolds is fucking funny as hell. And the newest Tomb Raider.
We have the exact same dishonorable list.
Wow.
Sonic
All right, let me change one of
one.
them. Pokemon, the one with Mewtwo in it. That one.
The
That
one
one's
where
fucking
Ash
badass.
cries.
Yeah.
I cried. We won't talk about that. I was 6.
Yeah.
It's fine. Or 8, 9. I don't know how old I cried.
I don't know.
I could have been 20 for all I know. I cried. That's all I know.
I cried yesterday, so.
Yeah. And actually, I would. Tomb Raider is actually a very close tie to Angry Birds. And Angry Birds isn't on there because I watched it. Angry Birds is on there because it actually got a really good rating and following because it was actually a pretty good kid movie, apparently. But Sonic, 100%. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's actually really good. Detective Pikachu was good. And Tomb Raider, the newest Tomb Raider, was good as well. Honorable. What's your 3 honorable?
Hitman Agent 47.
Ooh.
That one was really bad. Looking at my list, I cannot believe I left this one off there. Actually, I'm going to change my list real fast just to make sure it gets on the list. I'm just going to. So that one's now. That one. Ratchet and Clank.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that. Ruined. And I want to keep it to 1 per series. That's why I'm like straying away from 1 in particular. Let's go Silent Hill. Silent Hill was bad.
Nice. I did mine a little different.
Okay.
So I actually did specific movie because I feel like some of them are better than others, and I really wanted to shine light on the ones that are awful. Of that, if that's even possible, like one of the series that I'm pretty sure you were alluding to, most of them are bad, so it's very hard to pick one. But I did my honorable off of movies that I haven't watched that just got really bad ratings.
Okay.
So my honorable list, House of the Dead, got a 3% on Rotten Tomatoes. Ratchet and Clank, that you alluded to, 21% on Rotten Tomatoes, and Warcraft, 28% Rotten Tomatoes. And Warcraft actually not a huge bust, but when it came to domestic money, big bust. And I wanted to put them in the top 10, but I didn't feel like that was fair because I didn't watch it. So I couldn't actually say this movie sucked because I didn't see it. But it is on my honorable because it did not get good reviews and it did not get a good rating. And that had all the nerds lined up at the midnight premiere. All them sweaty Leroy Jenkins. Flop.
That wasn't in World of Warcraft, but okay.
You haven't seen the memes with that?
I have seen it, but I don't believe that was in World of Warcraft.
Yeah, there's plenty. No, there's like the trolls and stuff from World of Warcraft, and people like, I'm Leroy Jenkins.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's funny.
Because that started with South Park, didn't it?
What, the Leroy Jenkins meme?
The memes from that, like with the voiceovers of the characters.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like Cartman and stuff.
Of course it would be.
Yeah, because they're G's at that.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the top 10 territory. The triple T, as I like to call
Triple T.
Number 10.
Max Payne.
Max Payne.
Good game. Bad movie. Not a terrible loss when it came to money made. Still got a 16% on Rotten Tomatoes. And when you have a cast like Mark Wahlberg and Mila Kunis, ouch. Major ouch. Major ouch. So yeah, Max Payne.
Corporal ouch.
Max Payne, number 10 for moi. What you got?
Angry Birds.
Oh,
Didn't like that movie at all.
Okay.
It's not very good to me. But, I mean, like, I get it. Like, I'm a jaded-ass fucking 20-something. So, like, also Angry Birds was never really my thing. other than Angry Birds Star Wars, which is the greatest version. But like, it just didn't do it for me.
10-4. Who you got for number 9?
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed. Okay.
Yeah, Aaron Paul. Sorry, dude. You should stick to selling meth and saying bitch.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Agreed. Number 9 for me should be a lot higher, but I had to drop it down because I love the video game, and the first installment of it was not as bad as the second, and that is Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Rotten Tomato rating of a whopping 2%. So not great. Domestic lost a ton of money. International got a lot, but that's because people that don't watch American movies constantly will fall in love with absolutely anything, whereas we get bored pretty quickly. So Mortal Kombat Annihilation, number 9.
Nice. You're absolutely right in the fact that you said it should be higher.
Yeah, absolutely should. I mean, Baraka alone is awful.
Yeah. Or great, depending on how you look at it.
The costumes are terrible. It was basically like Mortal Kombat. The first Mortal Kombat was, I wouldn't say ahead of its time, but they definitely pushed the envelope for the time that it was in, with the graphics and trying to make like this fantasy world a reality, and using good actors that would play a good role in their characters, like using the dude from Beverly Hills Ninja as Liu Kang. Like, that's great casting on their part. But I think they took that rise and tried to like double down on it, and whiffed big time whiffage. Who you got?
Staff Sergeant Whiffage.
Who you got for number 8?
Doom.
Okay, The Rock.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. I smell what you're cooking, and it wasn't very good at that time. Oof. You weren't pumping out the Jumanjis and Central Intelligence. You were pumping out the Scorpion King, and that's it. There was that one scene in Doom, you know, the one that was good, but
that I do.
Yeah, that's my number 8.
Doom did not make my list.
Interesting.
Number 8 for me, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. Actually, probably the highest. Actually, let me look at my notes. The highest Rotten Tomato ranking on my top 10 at 37%. Oof. Jake Gyllenhaal, stick to crappy dramas, or dudes. I'm just gonna say it. Prince of Persia was dog crap. It was almost like they wanted it to be Aladdin without it being Aladdin. It just wasn't good. Did not like that game. And what really sucks is when that movie came out, that game was like on a rise. Like that game was gaining popularity. And then that movie came out, and then the gaming franchise was like, well, you fucked it. We're done. Moving on. We're going to make something else. Because, ouch. Thanks, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
So that's my number 8. Prince of Persia.
All right. Number 7.
Number 7 for me, Tomb Raider. Not the new one, because
the Angelina Jolie one.
The Angelina Jolie one. Rotten Tomatoes ranking of 20%. Another game that was like on the rise and gaining major popularity. There's a lot of majors making it in today.
Yeah. Private first class popularity.
Great game. Good idea. I think that character, and they obviously did a really good job with the storyline in the newest installment. I feel like there could have been more action in the newest installment, but they were kind of building that story. Hopefully they build off of that. But they had what pisses me off about a lot of these is you have the storyboard right in front of you. All you have to do is make it live action and maybe change some quirks and make it more realistic, because most of these games were made when, the software that's available doesn't allow them to have real live legit conversations and create like this really immense like visual. That's what these movies are for. These movies are not for us to, okay, that game that you just spent 9 hours beating, we're going to turn it into a movie so you can just watch it 2 hours. No, we want to see you dive in and really like explore something specific. Like exploring Lara Croft in the newest movie was the best part about that. You learned like she's this like out of character girl that doesn't take shit from anyone. She's willing to take a risk and she just goes all out for it. And that's like you want that storyline. You literally have it in front of you. And if you fuck that up, like that's why you're on this list. And that's why all these video game movies should be on this list, because you have everything right in front of you. If Steven Spielberg dropped a storyboard on your desk and said, all you have to do is make my idea a visual to the world, you are already ahead of the game. These people are ahead of the game. You have all these fans that are ready to dive in. And these things tank because you have all these people that are just so invested in these games. And even if the movie's good, it'll never be good enough. Like the movie has to be great for it to be good. And Tomb Raider wasn't even good. It was just like, man, like thanks for making the game a movie. So that's why Tomb Raider is number 7 for me. Could have used a hotter character too.
Yeah. Funny enough, that is not in my top 10.
Ooh.
Yeah. You know what is in my top 10 though, specifically at number 7, is a game you already talked about, or a movie rather. One Max Payne.
Max Payne.
Yeah. I had never heard of it until like a month ago. Maybe if that, like 2 weeks ago. And yeah, just as mediocre as the second game. And like, I thought Mila Kunis could save it. She could not.
Definitely couldn't.
Yeah.
So Marky Mark can't save it. Mila Kunis couldn't save it.
Marky Mark is, he's, yep. Mm-hmm.
It's funky.
Yeah. So,
who you got for 6?
Number 6 originally was Ratchet and Clank. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'll have Warcraft on my list.
Oh,
so I was like, yeah, Warcraft. The story was like not very good at all. The effects were okay, but like for that type of universe and cinematic experience that you're trying to create, they were definitely like dog shit for what they were expecting, And I also just don't like World of Warcraft. I don't see the appeal in it. So
same.
It ranked high for me.
Effing same, bro.
And now my top 5 are all series I love.
Ooh. I got Mario Brothers at 6.
Okay.
Not a good movie.
No.
Honestly, movie should have never been made. There's games that should never have movies made after them. When you want to, like when you're talking story games like Uncharted and Assassin's Creed, like I can see the appeal. Prince of Persia, good example. Max Payne, good example. Probably some of these other ones that we're going to list, good examples. But like games like Mario Brothers, like
that's just,
it's not needed. Like that's not a world that we want to dive into. We just want to play a game that's all patterns. Like that'd be like making a Tetris movie. Like be terrible. Just a bunch of blocks falling.
Russian blocks.
So not a movie that needed to be made. I honestly, like, the reason why I don't have it in my top 3 is because I don't think anyone could have made that movie better. I think it was like the best of its potential. It was just still dog crap. 23% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, Mario Brothers 6.
All right. Not bad.
Not bad. Bottom 5.
Let's get into the top 5. Anything you want to tell us about your top 5, including but not limited to what they are?
My top 5 are all movies that I've unfortunately watched more than once. And it's because I wanted them to be better. And I was hoping that I missed something. And unfortunately, 3 of these put me to sleep. So that's great. And actually, my top 3, I'll go more into depth why they were 3 over 5. I actually have some production cost numbers with my top 3. But
Nice.
number 5 for me, Assassin's Creed. A game that we've talked about a lot on this show, and I've already explained why I have a feud with Assassin's Creed, and I was really hoping that the movie would end my feud. Didn't. Got a whopping 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. Just dog shit. Absolutely dog shit. When you have Fassbender in there, like,
yeah,
come on. Like, how do you ruin that? Like, he's already ruined X-Men. Like, don't let him ruin Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah. I mean, he did fine in the Aliens that he did. Those ones were fine.
Mm-hmm.
Good pick. Really
Thanks.
good pick, actually.
Who do you have as 5?
My number 4 is being named now because I also had Assassin's Creed at number 5.
Nice.
My number 4 is, it was very hard to pick one. This one is regarded as one of the best, if not the best, in the series. But I hold a grudge because it started it all. So my number 4 is Resident Evil.
No specific one, just...
I blame the first one the most, even though the movie was actually like of the better ones.
For sure.
If I had to name like an exact one, probably Extinction was probably the worst for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it spawned something absolutely terrible, and I hold a mean grudge.
Extinction is the story that I tell where I was forced to watch it twice in the theaters.
I believe so, yeah.
That was Extinction. Number 4 for me, you alluded to one of the versions of the movie. They made kind of a spinoff, but Hitman is number 4 for me. This was one where loved the game, figured the movie was going to be like James Bond-esque and just the worst part of a James Bond character, just straight assassinations, which was going to be lit. Literally the only good part of that movie is when Agent 47 is walking down the hallway and sees the kids playing Hitman, and he kind of like smirks at him and then like keeps walking. Like, that's the only good part in that movie. That movie sucked. Got a whopping 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
Whopping.
Not a good movie at all.
Sorry, Timothy Oliphant.
Not sorry.
No, we're never sorry.
Yeah. You had plenty of opportunities to back out.
We're not sorry shirt coming soon.
Yeah. Facts. Number 3 for me, you actually alluded to one of them. Resident Evil Apocalypse is mine. And actually the reason why we went to see Extinction is because we were like, Apocalypse was so bad, there's no way that they make 2 terrible ones in a row. Boy, were we wrong. But Apocalypse was awful. Got a whopping 12% on Rotten Tomatoes. Terrible movie. Terrible storyline. Just shouldn't have been made. Most of these movies actually should have went straight to VHS. or DVD, but they were
Or
not.
just not produced at all.
Apocalypse numero trace. What say
And
you?
they had
Mr.
such
Panda?
a great storyline just like in front of them.
Yeah, it's like perfect example of a perfect storyboard right in front of you.
Yeah, and you just couldn't execute on it. You had to like completely mind fuck it.
Yeah, you had to put a spin on it that wasn't needed.
Yeah. My number 3 is Hitman. This is me breaking the rule that I set right at the beginning of the list, is that I wanted to keep like same franchises off the list, but technically Hitman Agent 47 was in my honorable mentions, not in the list. There's my loophole. Plus, I make the fucking rules.
Yeah, facts.
So yeah, that movie was dog shit. I saw it when I was a kid and like at the height of my Hitman love, and I was like, yeah, this is dog shit. Like, and I liked garbage movies back then, and I still do. But yeah, that was just irredeemable.
Yep. What do you got for number 2?
Number 2 is a movie I also hate, being a lover of the franchise, but it's kind of in that realm of so good that I fucking, or so bad that I fucking love it. It's just like cheesy comedy, like Troll 2, or the Leprechaun franchise, specifically Back to the Hood. But Mortal Kombat Annihilation is my number 2. By the way, speaking of which, just remembered this. Did you write down my top 3 before we started doing this?
I did.
And
I'm not 2 for 2, unfortunately.
we stumped the Schwab. Let's go, dude.
You did. I had Hitman at 3.
Okay.
I had a different movie at 2, and I won't say it because it might be your 1. I might have had all 3 just in the wrong order. I had Resident Evil. I had Mortal Kombat at numero uno.
Oh wow. You know, you probably just have them backwards.
I could.
I'll be honest.
I very well could.
You've
so
heard me talk a lot of shit about number 1.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
Yeah. But enough about me. What about you? What's your number 2, dude?
Number 2 for me, Alone in the Dark.
Oh yeah, that was so bad.
Rotten Tomato ranking of 1%. Feel like it got a petty vote there. And actually going back, so Resident Evil Apocalypse, 50 million domestic, it cost them 50 million to make. So all the money that they made was strictly on international, which if you know movies, you want to make double to triple your production to be a successful movie. And they barely doubled because international went crazy because it was a zombie movie. And they watched King Kong for freaking years and Godzilla and loved it. And those movies were trash. Alone in the Dark, 20 million production, 10 million worldwide.
Oh my God.
They lost 10 mil making that movie. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
Especially a game that had one Mr. Slater couldn't even make production cost back. Big oof, my guy.
Yeah.
That's why Alone in the Dark is number 2, not because of the 1%, but because they actually lost money.
I want to know what the most money lost on a movie is, on like a major motion picture.
Yeah. I don't know. I know like the biggest money bust, like however they calculate it when it's like past a certain like inflated rate or inflation, whatever they call it. I believe Waterworld is up there because that costed them a pretty penny back in the day, and did not get the hype that they were expecting. So number 1 for you. What do you got?
1 second here. King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. Okay. Production budget 175 million. Loss 150 million.
Oof.
They only made 25 fucking. Oh my God. Yeah, that's really bad.
That's not good. That's not good.
Also, apparently, Sinbad: Legend of the Seven Seas
Oh,
also did
okay.
very bad.
Would not have guessed that one.
Yeah, actually.
Nice.
I have it right here.
Nice.
My
Crazy.
number one, Mr. Bob Hoskins is rolling in his grave, and Dennis Hoppa for making this fucking movie that I loved when I was a kid, and then I saw the light. Was Super Mario Bros.
Yep. We had a plot.
Yep. Did you doubt yourself at all?
No, actually, I was very confident that I convinced you that Mortal Kombat was number one when we did that zoom in screen share on Baraka.
Oh, dude, that was so good.
I thought for sure that you were going to make that your number one. I knew Super Mario was in there for how much we talked about it. And then I knew your love for the Hitman franchise and how bad the movies were. So I was like, that's definitely going to be in his top three.
Yeah.
That was the way it went. I'm not upset that I got stumped on this one because, you know, small victories, still got all three, just not in the right order.
Yeah. I'll give you a 75%.
I'll take it. I will take it. I would take a 69%. But
hey, we'll take you got it.
And also, actually, King Arthur with the true measurement of 115 mil lost. Mars Needs Moms, 143 million lost worldwide.
Oh my God.
John Carter right behind that at 126, and The Lone Ranger at 124. Right
the Disney
above,
one?
Right above King Arthur.
The one with Depp?
The one with Depp.
Whoa, dude. I've only heard like really good things about that movie.
Deepwater Horizon was right beneath that, and then that terrible movie Monster Trucks was right there as well. R.I.P.D. is also on the list. Ouch. 47 Ronin, Jupiter Ascending. I would have agreed with that. Jupiter Ascending. Tomorrowland. Basically all movies that probably were a shit ton of animation movie costs.
Big Disney movies.
Yep.
That just didn't have the stuff.
Yep.
What is your number one, sir?
My number one is a movie that we haven't talked about, hasn't been on our honorable, dishonorable, or top 10 list. Street Fighter.
Oof.
Terrible acting. Terrible action scenes. One of those where we did not need a movie.
Poor M. Bison, bro.
Yeah.
Got beat like a bitch.
For real. Absolutely for real. So yeah, that is my number one. The production cost was 40 mil. Domestic, they only did 30 mil. So domestic, they lost 10. They made it back in international. But what's crazy is their first weekend that it came out, they did 9.5 million. They did like 38% of what they made domestically in the first weekend.
Jesus.
It was like, oh, hey, Street Fighter's coming out. Oh my God, don't tell your friends. Please don't tell your friends.
Take an ad out in the newspaper and be like, hey, don't fucking see this movie. Yeah, take it off the marquee. It's not happening.
Yeah, not good. 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not great. So yeah, that's my top 10. I'm actually kind of I'm not this one. I'm very confident that I would never, if I was asked to do it again, I'd put them in the exact same order.
That's fair. This just gave me a great idea for another top 10 worst things.
Ooh.
Comic book movies.
Oh.
Because you and I are somewhat of experts in that category.
We know what movie's not on that list.
It's still this shoulder. God damn it. I do that every time. It's like my controls are inverted. Yeah, Black Panther. Wakanda Forever.
Yep, definitely not on that list. But I'm down for that. Maybe next week's episode we do a little.
I get the tattoo.
Dude, that'd actually be kind of cool. If that, yeah, it would hurt like a mother, but that'd be cool.
Yeah, I can't believe people actually do it for fun.
Dummies. But yeah, maybe next week do a top 10 worst comic book movies.
Dude.
I feel like our honorable mention would be very similar, or dishonorable mentions, so it'll be the good movies.
Yeah. Spider-Man 3, X-Men 3, Last Stand, Fantastic Four. Those are the honorables. Or dishonorables. Those are the good ones.
And that's a show! Please, for the love of God, don't ever say those 3 movies out loud ever again unless they're being considered for your top 10.
I think I saw all 3 of those in theaters.
Oh, yeah, same.
I saw Last Stand on my birthday opening weekend.
Sorry.
So it was a shitty birthday. I was constipated. It sucked.
Hey, at least Last Stand isn't as bad as X-Men Origins Wolverine.
God. Wait. Is that you?
Sorry, just cleaning up storylines.
Another movie on that on that section might also be on that list. Just don't make the super suit green or animated.
That one's definitely in my top 10. That's might actually be top 5. Easy. But I would say dishonorable. I know for a fact posters in it. One of the Deadpool movies is in it. And the third one, I'm not sure. Endgame? Infinity War?
Endgame was really good.
Spider-Man Far From Home?
We don't know, man. We're going to contemplate to ourselves and come back and shock the world and ourselves.
Question.
Answer.
Space Jam count as a comic book movie?
Not a chance.
Damn it. Definitely would be in my dishonorable mention.
You would.
I mean, it's top 10 greatest sports movie of all time, so.
It's true. Maybe we'll have to do that on an episode of Case in Point.
Oh, it's already planned. Good thought.
Good thought that we never had before.
Yeah.
Before this moment.
Yep. Actually, probably going to start bringing back the Case in Point brackets.
Ooh.
And we're going to do sports movies.
Oh, dude. Hell yeah. Everyone vote for Major League 2. To win it all.
Major League will definitely be on that.
Or Bad News Bears goes to Japan.
Not Bad News Bears goes to Japan, but Bad News Bears, yes.
Original or Billy Bob Thornton?
Bear down. Original. Billy Bob Thornton. God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bear down.
Bear down.
Yeah, Bad News Bears will definitely be on that. Space Jam, definitely on that.
Hoosiers.
Caddyshack.
Coach Carter.
No.
Glory Road.
No.
Semi-pro.
Yes. Remember the Titans. Yes.
Talladega Nights.
Yes. Talladega Nights. Yes.
He admitted it. Racing's a sport. He admitted it.
You know what's not on there? Any movie involving wrestling.
Sure.
Because I can't make top 10 greatest entertainment movies.
Well, they actually did one that was actually pretty.
And actually,
pretty
Talladega
realistic.
Nights isn't on there for the racing. It's for the wheelchair basketball scene.
You would. You fucking would.
Yep.
But.
Yes.
Fair enough. I guess that's it. That's all we got today. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thoroughly hope you enjoyed episode 7 of the Mashing Joys podcast. Lots talked about, new segments introduced, some teasers thrown out there, good discussion, and most importantly, we ruined your lives by bringing these god-awful fucking oil paintings back into your life. So, yeah, that's going to be it for us. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you so much for sticking with us. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave that like, that subscribe, that comment, letting us know what movies we left off our list. Oh my God, he's got the Blu-ray! Dude, I'll give you a quarter for it.
I think it's worth more collecting dust on my thing than a quarter. I think that's the only one I have on my. No, not two. Not two. One day it'll catch on. One day it'll be a good movie. No.
Yeah, and always remember to mash the bell if you want notifications for when the new episodes go live. Also, be on the lookout for that sick-ass video made by Mr. Case in Point over here. That's going to be super badass. You're going to love it. I'm going to love it. It's going to be made into a major movie motion picture is what I was going to say. If you are watching on, or listening rather, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, podcast services everywhere, we thank you also for bearing down and listening with us. And if you also have enjoyed, feel free to hit the subscribe button, leave a rating, tell us what you think, and be notified when the audio versions of these podcasts go live. Unfortunately, you will not get an audible version of the video, but I think you'll sacrifice for us.
50 seconds.
If you are looking for us on the social medias, you can find us on Facebook. Mashing Joys is the name. Playing games is our game.
We'll have to work on that
Yeah.
one.
And if you are looking for us on Instagram and Twitter, at Mashing Joys is where we will be. And we will be posting many more posts on those.
I thought you were going to do it again for Instagram. I thought you were going to double down. I thought you were.
No,
I was like, please don't.
No. I wouldn't
Mashing Joys is the name. And gaming is our game.
So playing games is our game, all right?
Still bad.
We'll work on it.
Oh, so good.
This will all get cut in post. It's fine.
No, it won't.
No.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we will keep up the content game. We're posting lots of new stuff. Make sure to comment and let us know what you think on whatever we post. And tell us we're fucking stooges. That's my favorite. I love it. Also, if you see us in Rocket League, make sure to make fun of us.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because it's super fun. Because then I just get angry and then I do even worse. And
And
keep
if
saying
you're
I missed it.
if you're watching because you have either destroyed us in Rocket League or we destroyed you, and we promoted our show through Rocket League, thank you for tuning in. Keep playing Rocket League. You're clearly better than us. We just got lucky.
Yep.
But yeah, sweet.
Except for that team that we beat, and then they said it was luck. So we played them again and whooped their ass again. But we didn't promote the page to you guys. So if you guys find it just randomly,
You're not
I remember your gamer tags, so I'll know if it's you.
uninstall.
Yeah, just get out, bro. Also, if you were one of the racist pieces of shit that we played against, go fuck yourself. Go sit on a cactus. But with that being said, all toxicity aside, thank you guys for tuning in. It is truly a pleasure to sit here with an extension of my bloodline and also an extension of myself, just the like really good parts that are buried way down. But yeah, I always look forward to doing the show and putting out so much content for you guys, which we've got more on the way with our streamer series coming up here in just about a week.
Yep.
And that'll be super fun. So keep a lookout for that. Thank you for joining us. As always, I have been Cody.
And I'm still Jason.
And this has been Mashing Joys, episode 7. Thank you. And remember to please be safe. Wear your fucking mask. Eat your vegetables. And most importantly, just have a good day, you guys.
See ya!